we'll start with the Bendigo match. That one's on the road. How do you think that one go?
Oh, look, Bendigo's always really tough, and looking forward to it. Because a country rivalry. We've won in Albury, we've won in Geelong, and it'd be nice to win in Bendigo. But expecting a really tough game. They play better at home than what they do away. I think they've got the 5-2 record at home and 2-5 away. So they grow a leg when they're playing at home, or extra leg. So we know we're going to be in for a pretty tough game.
And are there any of their players that you're particularly looking out for?
Yeah, look, across the board, they've got players that are capable of putting big points on the board. And Burton, we saw his first game was against us. He scored the most points he has so far. He had 30 that night, and he just had 29 in the last game. And the big fella Ray, he's capable. He's their leading rebounder and scorer. So Andronicus can put points on the board. They've got a quality team, and so we're pretty much going to have to focus on 4 or 5 of them. But there's 2 key players obviously that we really need to try and reduce their efficiency, and that'll go a long way to us winning the game.
Absolutely. And then we have Albury on Sunday. They haven't done as well. I know you're going to say you're going to win, but are you pretty confident about that one?
I'm always confident no matter who we play, provided I know the guys bring it. I think we're confident about beating anyone, but if we don't bring it, you can be knocked off. They've beaten Kilsyth, and they pushed somebody to one point. One at the time, I think it was Danny on to a point, and so last time we played, we were a good top. So they fell away a bit, but they're still dangerous. Devin George, Mosley. They can all put points on the board as well. So you have to go out and respect everybody you play. We don't really fear anyone, but we respect everybody. Second game within 14, 16 hours. You just hope that everybody's healthy. We've got to do what we can to freshen everybody up, to come home and make sure that we continue to start the winning at home, because that's going to be the start of a 6-game home game. So. Both games are pretty important for us. We win 1 or 2 of these games, we're in the playoffs, and obviously we reset our goals for what we want to achieve after that. But 1 out of 2 of these games, and two of these games definitely puts us in the playoffs. With 7 games to go.
Yeah, just one minus questions.
Do you find that the match intensity has really skyrocketed now that we're in the second half of the season? Everyone's playing a little bit harder ahead of the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't really know if everyone's playing harder. I guess everybody's sort of got to play together a bit more, so the cohesion for all the teams has probably improved. I wouldn't like to say that we're playing harder. I'd like to think we play hard all the time, and I think it's more about the cohesion of the teams. Players getting used to playing with each other. There's a lot of improvement. I really believe that we've got lots of improvement in us. We're still not, in my opinion as coach, playing to the level that I think we can play, and. Because we're a new team, we've got 6 players, and I just know now that I've had the team for a few months, I just know that there's a lot of room for improvement, and that's our focus. Like in each game we play, we go out there to try and get the W, but we're trying to improve. And every week I look at the video. There's lots of room for improvement when you break down individuals, and also adjustments for us as a team to improve. So that's a good sign, in respect to where we sit on the ladder. And then there's room for improvement, because we need to improve if we're fair income about when we get to the playoffs playing well. We need to improve in order to do well in those playoffs.
And obviously, any words on the rush this weekend?
Yeah, regard to the rush, they've got probably I think it's the second top team. Bendigo and Geelong are sort of separated themselves. So that's going to be a really, really tough game. But our girls have improved a lot. They really pushed Bendigo last time they were here, and as they did with Geelong for 3 quarters. So it'd be wonderful if they can get a win against Bendigo. But in saying that, I think we talked about last week that we've got 6 home games, and you look at the home games and I look at where the teams are on the ladder that Rush are up against, they can beat every one of those teams. And if they win all those games, like they went on that 5-game winning streak, if they can get 6 wins, they're probably in the playoffs. So, and that's not out of their depth in order to get that done. You just look at the personnel. They're going to have to play great. Even coming back and playing Albury-Wodonga, they should have beaten Albury-Wodonga. I watched a bit of that game when we were there, and just a few breakdowns, and while the team was still getting it together, but Shanice didn't play, and so I actually have an expectation they're going to win that game, and that could be the start of a streak, and they've just got to try and upset Bendigo for where they sit.
Just back on to the men quickly, just with the Albury game, you guys beat them by a historic margin last year. I guarantee I haven't forgot that. Are you expecting a pretty spirited performance by them this week?
Yeah, I am, and I think that was sort of one out of the box for us. To win by that margin, just everything just went well that night. We shot the lights out, we played great defence, and we almost played the perfect game. So, that's what we're aiming to do, but that margin, was sensational. It's there, so it's probably going to motivate them, no question. But in regard to us, what it says to us is that, to be ready. As I said, they upset Kilsyth. I think it was Deng. They lost by a point. It was Geelong. They lost 2 by a point. So that's at that time Kilsyth was second on the ladder. Geelong's third on the ladder. So they've got enough guns and ammunition to upset anyone because they can put points on the board. I think they're one of the leading teams as far as scoring goes, and so we'll be aware of that. And we're going to watch video on both teams. We're prepared for both teams, and we're not going to take anybody lightly. So for us, we can't control what their emotions are, but certainly I know as a player, if that had happened to me, I'd certainly come out, want to prove a point that that's not the margin, that's not the difference. But we know that, and but we can only focus on what we can control. And believe me, we're not going to be taking it easy.
And same with Bendigo, I think they're just outside the 8 at the moment, or sort of outside looking in. Are you expecting a pretty sort of desperate performance from them? Yeah,
I am, and I think, realistically, the talent level they've got, I think they just sit outside the 8. Last week they were in the 8, so they're definitely good enough to be in the finals. And in saying that, as you say, it's a must-win game for them. But we've got our own goals of where we want to be, and so we beat Bendigo in the playoffs, and that sets us up for next goal, which would be a top 4 situation. So we'll just prepare on how we need to go about beating them. Again, can't control. They'll be up for it. We can't control their emotions, but we can control our own emotions and our own destiny by how we play. So focus on the process on how we're going to beat them.
And just lastly, just with the you're obviously finishing the season with 6 home games, does that take the pressure off a fair bit?
No pressure off. So that's the last thing you want to think of. We work too hard to put ourselves in this position, and the teams we play. If you just mentioned it before, how are they playing harder? They're playing better. Like Diamond Valley's strung a few wins together. Hobart's strung some wins together. Melbourne Tigers is around the mark. So these are the teams we've got to play. That probably at the beginning of the season, the first 5 weeks, everyone said they're bottom teams. Well, they're all middle and above now. So it's interesting the way things change, and we put ourselves in a good position. I'm comfortable that we come out with the right attitude. We're going to win, but you don't want to have any setbacks along the way when you've set yourself season up by doing what we're doing. We're 8-1 on the road. Hopefully we get Bendigo. That'll make us the best road team easily in the league, and so now you want to become the best home team, and that's what we're playing for if we can, to get home finals. And I'd certainly rather be playing finals at home than away. It's always, not to say it's easier, but it's better to have home finals at home than away, because you've got your home support. And I think it's about rewarding your supporters, your sponsors and your fans to get, if you can, to get home games so they can come along and watch you play at the next level, because the playoffs usually are pretty tough games.
Yeah, well, look, just on the back of what Joyce said, you obviously had a career game against Albury last time. Are you looking to replicate that this week?
Yeah, I'll try my best, but the goal is just to get the win. I'm not too worried about all that, so just getting the win.
Yeah, I bet they probably remember some of those blocks last game. Do you reckon they'll be looking out for you this week?
Yeah, a lot of teams have been more cautious when they're driving in and stuff. So it's just after that game, so it's been good.
And how do you guys match up with Bendigo?
Bendigo, they're a really good team. They've got a few guys that can just light it up. Like with their last game, they had a guy 29 points and 28 points. So that's going to be hard to stop. But I think we match up good against them. They're a big team. We're a big team. So that'll be a good matchup.
Yeah, perfect. And just last, are you confident you guys can go 2 from 2 this week?
Yeah, we're always confident, no matter who we're playing. Like we are the top of the ladder, so we have all the confidence in the world. So we're not really worried about anybody.
Perfect.
Absolutely. You say you've been focusing on Bendigo. What's your matchup like with Albury?
Aubrey, well, so we played them early on, and it was one of those games that, as a team, we still talk about, like, we wish we had that one back because it felt like it slipped away. And so it'll be fun to come back and play at home on a Sunday. We really haven't had a chance to do that yet. And yeah, always great to play in front of our crowd.
And how do you feel the rush have gone when you've had double headers in the past, you know, having that good turnover?
We've actually played really well that second game, considering the fact that a lot of us are tired and bruised, and but so far this season we've always won our second game in the doubleheader. So that'll be great. Hopefully we do it again this week.
Fantastic. That's all me. Anyone else?
Just statistically, how many do you likely have to win out of your last sort of 6 games to make the playoffs, do you think?
Well, we do look at one game at a time, but we'd like to, with 7 games left, win all of them. But I'd say probably 6.
6 or so?
Mm.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
And this week's against Bendigo, who I think they're the second place team in your division,
Yes.
from memory. I mean, how do you guys, is confidence sort of going in there and taking
Yeah.
on top of the table team?
Yeah, so they've got some great talent. Kelly Wilson, she's leading the league in assists per game with 10, and that's incredible as a point guard. And then Rebecca Tobin, she's a great rebounder. She's somebody that they didn't have earlier in the season, so she's added some depth. And she's actually my college teammate, believe it or not. So with the Bendigo team, a lot of them I've been teammates with before, and so they're experienced, they're talented, but at the same time, our team, we're just as good.
Will this be the first time you've lined up against your college teammate?
Yeah, actually it will be.
And what's that like, sort of going against her?
It's funny, she sent me messages last night like, oh, it's gonna be awesome, to see each other, and so yeah, I mean it's great because we still have that friendship, but when it comes to being on the court and being on different teams, it's we have that competitiveness.
And what college did you go to?
Arizona State University.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Mhm.
And just in terms of shutting her down, obviously the guard that you mentioned, what do you guys
Yeah.
have to do to sort of keep them in check?
She's so quick in transition. Her and if Tessa Levy plays, like those two are probably 2 of the fastest guards, as far as pushing the ball up the court in our league, and so it's really stopping them early and making sure that we contain them. And then, as far as their post players, it's not getting them any easy looks at the basket, and making sure that we kind of key in, and they've got some great players that come off the bench and do their role really well. And so it's also making sure that none of them get going.
Yeah, perfect. And just in terms of you guys, what's the big focus for you guys? Hitting shots, defending well, or?
Yeah, well, we shot the ball terribly last weekend, and just easy things that we normally make. So I think this week the focus has been, definitely transition defense, but also offensively, finishing our shots. What are the looks that we want, and making sure that we're focused and finishing.
Perfect.